So remember, it doesn't matter how hard you hit the floor. Everybody falls from time to time. What really matters is how quick you get. My nutrition has been on point. Every single meal has been an event in my life. 240-kilometer cycle from Sharjah to Fujairah, including all the mountains, and I'm feeling fit and I'm feeling... Christian Williams here, Global Transformation Coach, and I'm here in the Transformation Hub, and I'm going to teach you some of the lessons I've learned over the last 4 months and my preparation for the biggest cycle of my life. A 240-kilometer from one coast to another, the coast to coast from Sharjah to Fujairah. I'm going to talk to you about my training over the last few months, my preparation, my nutrition, and hope that I inspire you by telling you that no matter what hits you down, you can always get back up and get on with it. And to do that, first I'm going to rewind you back to the last 15 weeks. Just 15 weeks ago, I was cycling on a Sunday morning coffee ride with a group of friends, and the last couple of kilometers, as you do, we got a bit excited and aggressive. We were powering down. There was a cyclist next to me. He went down at 55 kilometers an hour. I went down, I hit the floor, broke my collarbone, I broke 5 ribs. One of my ribs punctured my lung collapsed. We got rushed to the emergency hospital where they did an emergency operation on me. They stuck a tube through my rib to drain the air and to help the lung get back to where it needed to be. That took actually 5 days of being on a drip and on tubes in hospital. I also had a titanium plate fixed in my clavicle, and I was in a sling for 4 weeks solid, limited to what I could do, both cognitively and physically, but that didn't stop me. After 4 weeks, I started doing some indoor cycling. I started some physiotherapy, and just 2 weeks after the sling came off, I did my first outdoor cycling with a friend. I'll be honest, at first I was getting a lot over the fears that were inflicted, the trauma I experienced, and I was determined to keep moving forward. 1 week later, I did the Spinneys Build-Up 4. Again, getting over my fear and getting back onto the bike. I continued with the physiotherapy. 1 month after that, I did the main event, Spinneys, here in Dubai with thousands of cyclists, and again, it was very uncomfortable, I was very nervous, and I was getting over a fear, but I keep moving forward. And then 2 weeks after, I spent a weekend in Khor Fakkan, training up the hills, meeting a lot of cyclists. I connected with a new coach, and now, here I am today. I'm preparing for the coast to coast, which is tomorrow. So that's where I've been, and over the last 8 to 9 weeks of my preparation, I say 8 weeks, it's potentially 9, because I've been getting back on the bike, I've been training my body, I've been doing my physiotherapy exercises, my shoulders feeling strong, hence why I've been doing more resisted training back into my routine. Now, being a bodybuilder for 11-year career span, and since I was actually young, I developed a lot of muscularity and size, and why I encourage you, if you are a cyclist or if you just general population watching this video, you should do some weight training, because I believe that the muscle mass I had was one of the reasons what protected me from making the accident a fatal one. Now, I did incorporate a lot of weight training back into my routine. I was training 3 days a week, nothing heavy of course, because I couldn't, and also I was preparation for this coast to coast. Monday I would do a pull day, starting with some pull downs, etc., building up till the point where I could do a full pull up. Tuesday I would go out and do a medium cycle of around 35 to 45 kilometers. Wednesday I would be in the gym and I would do a leg day, building the strength and the power back in my legs after taking almost 6 weeks off. And then Thursday I would do another cycle. Friday I would do a push day, focusing on my biomechanics, focusing on functional movements. Saturday I would usually do a long cycle around up to 140 kilometers in fact. And then Sunday I would also do a shorter cycle of around 60, sometimes 80 kilometers. Trying to get around 10 hours of cycling in a week with obviously around 3 hours of weight training, with some physiotherapy sessions, with some stretching exercises, and also with 1 to 2 deep tissue massages a week, which I'm a big advocate on anyway. We should all be recovering well, and if we've been sat down, whether it's at the desk or on a bike or in the gym lifting weights and shortening the muscle and tightening the muscle, we need to work on lengthening the muscle. And what I find is the stretching is very effective, so is the massage gun, so is the foam roller, but having a deep tissue massage, a sports massage on a regular basis is just going to get deeper into them fibers and allow the muscles to get full at length. So that's been part of my recovery and part of my preparation. Now where am I? I'm here today. Well, I've lost a lot. I've lost a lot of size. I've lost a lot of weight. I feel in the best shape of my life. In fact, I feel fit. I feel mentally strong. I feel more than ready. I've met a lot of good friends along the way. I've learned a lot about the things I really love, especially when they've been stripped away from me. And I've got a lot more wiser and a lot more experienced, and I'm a lot more excited to move forward into the coming months. I'm feeling good, I'm feeling lean. I've been really sticking to my diet plan, very clean, whole foods, limiting anything that I would consider not good for me, any oils, any fried foods, any sugary desserts, just whole food, pretty much the same breakfast, the same lunch, the same dinner, and a lot of fruit and vegetables, a lot of antioxidants and a lot of micronutrients to help support my recovery and also aid my performance. So that's where I currently am. Now, all the training is done. I'm feeling really in spirit, I feel inspired, and I feel motivated, and I feel ready for tomorrow. I've just completed a taper week where I literally just didn't do any weight training at all. I did 2 very short cycles. I picked up my bike from the shop yesterday, which is looking very good, its service. I picked up my goodie bag from the shop as well with my race pack in there for tomorrow. And just to give you an idea of where I am currently today compared to where I was, November of last year, a few months ago, I did this similar event, the Coast to Coast, but it was the winter edition, 165 kilometers. And I was in the last group. The groups go from A, B, all the way to K. I was in K. The slowest group, the last group, I didn't know what to expect and I wanted to take it easy. Tomorrow, I'm riding in Group B, which is one of the fastest groups. So that just goes to show where I am physically, mentally, and emotionally. I'm ready to take on the challenge. I'm ready to ride the event. What I'm going to be talking to you now about is the coming event. Just maybe to give you an idea of what I'm doing, maybe it can be beneficial towards you. What I will say is, I'm not advising you or suggesting you do what I'm doing right here, because that would be silly. I've learned my body, I've had a lot of food over the years, I know what I can consume, I know what works well with my body, hence why my food is pretty much the same day in, day out. I keep it the same, I eat what I know I can. But I'll be carb loading up tonight on some rice, on some chicken, on some vegetables, and on some tortilla wraps. These are the foods I know I can eat. I'll be having a nice bowl of oats before bed with a little bit of protein and some nut butter just to slow the digestion down. I'll be making sure my hydration levels are very well today. But tomorrow, when I wake up in the morning, I won't be having any food initially, because personally I find if I have something that's quite big, then I need to go to the toilet quite frequently for the day, especially in the morning, which is something I want to avoid on the bike. But what I will do, however, I will have a bar which is loaded with dates and other really dense calories 45 minutes before the race begins, and I'll have that with a banana and a cup of coffee. This will allow my body a nice amount of time to digest the food, absorb the food, and allow the food to be ready in my bloodstream. What I will then do is I'll begin the race, or the sportif, let's call it, And throughout the race, I will have my 2 bottles loaded with 25 grams of carbohydrates, a small amount of amino acids in each bottle. And I will sip on this every 15 minutes. In fact, I'll consume around 1/5 to 1/4 of the bottle. So it's giving me around 6 to 7 grams of carbohydrates. Every 15-minute interval, I will drink the same amount, about 1/5 to 1/4 of the bottle. And at every 45 minutes, I will have a liquid gel, which it's composed of amino acids, 25 grams of carbohydrates, electrolytes, and caffeine. And I'll do that every 45 minutes, and I'll keep having the drink every 15, and at every 1 hour, 30 minutes, I will have another bar. And I'll do this consistently. So throughout the entire event tomorrow, I will drink 150 grams of carbohydrates in liquid form. Okay, I'll drink probably 6 bottles throughout the event. I will eat 4 bars, which contain 40 grams of carbohydrates. So that's 160 grams of carbohydrates in bars. So that's 310 grams of carbohydrates right there. And I will have 4 gels, which contain 25 grams of carbohydrates a gel. That's obviously 100 grams. That's 410 grams of carbohydrates. Plus, at every stop, and there's 3 stops, I will be grabbing a banana. And I'll probably consume with the morning banana 4 bananas. So we're looking at around 150 grams of carbohydrates from that. So we're close to 500 grams of carbohydrates, let's call it. Now that's what I know my body can tolerate. That's going to help my performance. On top of that, I'm going to be having my electrolyte tablets to give me the electrolyte balance I need. Now that's me. Once the race is done, and I'm going to get to the finish line for sure. I've practiced on these hills many times. I know what's to come, and I know what to be prepared for. The event finishes, I get back to Dubai, and I fly back to the UK at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, which I'm looking forward to closing the week down, reminiscing on the past, reflecting on the last few months, the last 15 weeks of preparation for this, and also spending some time with the family, time off the bike. And also, I'm very looking forward to coming back to Dubai and getting back into my training. As I mentioned, I met a new cycling coach. We're going to start planning my preparation for either some time trial events or some sprint events. I bought a pair of power meter pedals yesterday, so we can really track my performance and understand where I need to work on. So I'm excited about that. But without thinking too far ahead, I'm going to enjoy tomorrow's event. I'm going to enjoy the week that comes to follow. If you are competing as well and you are doing the coast to coast, good luck for tomorrow. Stay safe. I hope things work smooth and you don't have a nasty accident. But if you do, I want you to remember, you never fail if you keep getting back up, okay? If you go down and you get back up and you go down, the going down is just another opportunity, another lesson to learn from. So keep striving forward, have the resilience, have the no excuse attitude. You know, I'm a proof that it doesn't matter what you go through, it's how you deal with it that really counts. So on that note, have a nice weekend, have a nice day, have a nice week, have a nice training. Inspired to inspire. That's it from me. On the road to recovery 2023, #bull mode.